You're having a convenience store lunch again." The laughter of Bob echoed around. Holding the lunch I had just bought, I stared at him in disbelief. "My name is Ethan. Just an ordinary office worker you'd find anywhere. Right now, I'm in the middle of some harassment from my superior, Bob." "What's wrong with a convenience store lunch? For someone working in a top-tier company, eating such a meager meal like a convenience store lunch, I'm surprised you can stomach it." Bob said this while picking up the lunch and examining the side dishes closely. Then, suddenly, Bob yelled out, Whoa, man, I've done it now." My lunch was splendidly scattered across the floor. "What are you doing?" "Humph, it wasn't on purpose. Anyway, it's troublesome having a poor guy like you around. This is a top-tier company. Eating appropriately is part of your duty as an employee." "Och, I'll work through lunch. I'll clean this later, so please return to your work, Bob." "Hey, I'm not done talking to you, Bob. How old are you turning this year? Mocking an employee's convenience store lunch and then throwing it on the floor is like middle school bullying." "What did you say? You don't understand anything. As an employee of a top-tier company, it's only natural that I—" "So, what about your lunch, Bob?" I said this intending to counter the childlike Bob. Then Bob, with a sly smile, showed me a luxurious-looking lunchbox. "Look, this is my lunch." Inside the impressive lunchbox was a meal so extravagant. Our colleagues, who had been watching us, were also surprised, staring at Bob's lunch. I'm the son of a high-end restaurant owner. A meal like this is just a quick fix for our chefs. "But Bob, isn't that a hassle for the chefs?" "What do you mean?" "Well, they are busy with work and yet have to make such a lavish lunch just for you to take to the office. I wouldn't like that." "Hey, you. Did I say something offensive?" At my words, Bob's face turned red with anger. Seeing him like that made me back off. "You insolent fool." "Huh?" I was taken aback by Bob's angry outburst. No, who's really being unreasonable here?" I thought to myself as I returned to my work. The next day, I took a sick leave and spent the day idly in the park. I had lied about a stomach ache to get this day off, but Bob had yelled over the phone, telling me not to take time off for such a reason. But after all, paid leave is something you're entitled to take whenever you want. It's so peaceful, isn't it? Due to it being daytime, the park was overflowing with families with children. There were also parents with small babies, perhaps on parental leave, here and there. I'm already 35 years old. There were quite a few friendly women at work, and I even had a girlfriend. But all of that was destroyed by that son of a high-end restaurant owner, Bob. He teased me about my relationships with the women, and eventually, the girls would break up with me. At work, every day was a storm of power harassment. I was routinely ordered to do unnecessary overtime, and eventually, even my colleagues abandoned me, leaving me to endure Bob's harassment alone. But Bob's harassment was on the level of a middle schooler, so it never really hurt me that much. Sigh, dealing with adults who act like children is so exhausting. A woman sitting nearby echoed my thoughts. "Sorry, what was that?" "Oh, did you hear that?" She appeared to be around my age. She dressed modestly and quite attractive. Feeling somewhat fortunate to have such a beautiful person next to me, I decided to strike up a conversation. "I'm also tired of babysitting a grown child. He's my boss at work. How about we share our grievances?" Vent to someone I just met today. Despite looking a bit perplexed, she sat down on the bench next to me. "Why not? Let's talk about our experiences with these overgrown kids. I've always been good at quickly getting along with anyone. This skill now serving me well in my sales job." "You're a funny person," she said with a smile. Her smile seemed youthful and charming. Then she began to vent. "I'm transferring to my father's company next month, to the HR department. I'm not officially working yet, but I'm having frequent meetings to understand the company's inner workings. And there's this annoying uncle from my dad's side. He acts and speaks like a child, and is completely incompetent at work. I sometimes doubt if he's really an adult." She said this with a wry smile. Hearing her words, I felt a sense of déjà vu. This uncle sounded just like Bob. What a coincidence. I'm also dealing with a low-level boss. His harassment is like something a middle schooler would come up with. It's really baffling, isn't it? Seems like every company has such troublesome uncles. Our conversation became more animated, and I gradually started to feel hungry and somewhat irritable. I'm thinking of quitting that place. Just dealing with middle school level harassment from my boss and getting no help from colleagues who avoid getting involved. I can't stand it anymore. Don't be so hasty. There must be people at your company who would be in trouble without you. She comforted me. I'm getting hungry. Would you like to go eat some delicious staff meals? I'm a regular at a great place. Staff meals, really? Yes, staff meals are what the chefs eat, but sometimes they share leftovers. I often go there when I'm hungry on my days off. Well, would I be intruding? Not at all. It's my mom's family's place, she said, smiling proudly. This is a fancy restaurant. The restaurant was surprisingly close to my office. She led me through its grand entrance. Being the granddaughter of a restaurant owner, she must be quite a lady. I followed her into the grand gates without hesitation. In the back of the restaurant, I saw chefs cleaning dishes and utensils, working in the kitchen. The unique atmosphere made me feel out of place. Is it really okay for someone like me to come here? It's fine. We're just here for a staff meal. Grandpa, are you here? Hey, Chloe, you're here. A man who looked like the head chef greeted us with a smile. So her name is Chloe. I was surprised I hadn't even asked her name yet. We have been so busy venting that we hadn't talked about ourselves. Grandpa, can we have 2 staff meals today? I made a friend in the park. A friend? I thought he was your boyfriend for a moment there, the head chef joked. Sigh, that's not happening. We just met today. Really? Bringing a guy you just met to your mother's family's restaurant? Well, we were both hungry. This guy too, he said he was hungry. Oh, I just realized I haven't asked for your name yet. I'm Ethan. Ethan, that's a nice name. You think so? Yeah, it somehow suits you. She said this, and I felt a little flutter in my chest. It had been a while since I had a conversation with a woman like this. Ethan, are you okay with fish? Yes, I love fish. That's good. Some young people these days dislike fish and won't eat it. Saying this, the chef started cutting a piece of fish on the cutting board. He then prepared some fish dishes for us. You 2 go eat in the staff room. Just make sure not to disturb the other employees. Okay. Thank you. Chloe and I, holding the chef's seafood dishes, headed to the staff room. In that room, I ended up having a late lunch with her. Sorry for dragging you into this. No, I should be the one thanking you for being so kind. Chloe, you were here. At that moment, Chloe's comment was interrupted by a loud and familiar voice. That voice, I recognized it. No way, it was Bob's voice. Why was Bob here? Bob approached her with a seafood dish in his hand. Hey, uncle, aren't you supposed to be working? I forgot my lunch today, so I came here to eat the staff meal. Everywhere else is closed for lunchtime, and convenience store food is just too awful. Look, the guy I told you about took the day off today. Really pisses me off. Hearing that, I called out to Bob from behind. Hello. Bob and I locked eyes. What? Bob was visibly shocked to see me. Why are you here? I was at the park and hit it off with Chloe, and she brought me here. Wait, you 2 know each other? Know each other? He's the guy I always talk about. The one who only eats convenience store food. No taste at all. That's harsh. So, Bob, you've been talking about me like that. Wait, does that mean the company Chloe is transferring to is our company? It seems so. So, the middle school level middle-aged guy we've been venting about is. right in front of us. We both turned to face Bob. You don't need to quit your job for someone like him. I'll handle this matter. Would you continue to contribute to my father's company? Hey, Chloe, what are you saying? Bob was panicking upon hearing our conversation. Uncle, I've reached my limit defending you. Your excessive physical contact is causing female employees to quit, and the male employees are worn out from your harassment. There have been many complaints in HR. I'm sorry, but could you resign from my father's company? Wait a minute. How will the company run without me? Well, you hardly do any work, do you? Huh? Actually, we've even had complaints that work goes smoother without you. That's ridiculous. Almost all of your subordinates have lodged complaints against you. It's unprecedented since the founding of the company. Even Dad is appalled. Bob seemed to be in shock from Chloe's relentless barrage of words. Indeed, I wasn't sure I could recover if I were so thoroughly criticized. But her words were likely true. It was the harsh reality. It can't be helped. You don't have to say such things in front of your family. Are you crying? I was stunned by Bob's reaction. Understanding that being confronted with his flaws was shocking, but crying over it. Bob then left the staff room. Are you okay? I was surprised by Bob's behavior. Yeah, he's quite sensitive, you know. His heart is still like that of a middle schooler. Seems so. He could dish out harassment easily, but couldn't take criticism himself. A self-centered person indeed. But I hope this experience helps him grow. He's been kind to me since I was little, and he does have his good sides. And so, my tumultuous day off came to a close. Later on, I heard Bob was getting a reality check, working under his father, the head chef, doing menial tasks. And as for me, are you sure I'm suitable to be a section chief? Of course, it's based on a fair personnel evaluation. You're capable of handling it. I had been promoted from a regular employee to section chief. Thanks to Chloe's investigation in HR, it was revealed that my evaluations had been unfairly low due to Bob's harassment. You're a valuable asset to this company. I'm so glad you didn't resign because of that useless uncle. We would have lost an important member of our team. Saying this, she looked into my eyes and smiled warmly. With Bob gone, my stress has completely disappeared, and I'm much more productive at work. Although we won't have any more grievances to share, I hope we can have enjoyable conversations from now on. I caught myself frequently glancing at her during work and suddenly realized it. I'm secretly planning to invite her out for lunch soon.